Hello there. And we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode. Yeah, guys, I've not really been around yet. But, guys, you're welcome to another episode of the Dal and Claude show. See, people, my brother, I mean, he has something to say.
Yeah,
He
well,
has something to
that's a
say.
lot in the chat.
Brothers, I won't even interrupt him. Of course, I will aid the argument, guys. Yeah, but
Right.
I'm not gonna disrupt this wrecking ball right now, bro.
Oh boy.
When it's unleashed right now. See ya, people. We welcome back to the channel our brother Oregon Gooner. He gets a po, guys. Yeah. Oh, the
Ooh, thank you,
Gooner.
thank you.
See ya, my brother, man. You're welcome to the show. How are you doing, man?
Good. Personal life's good. Work, family's good. Other than that, I'm ready for something new. I'm tired of being on the same merry-go-round or roundabout, as Deji called us earlier, the roundabout team. I'm just, I'm not shocked. I'm just disappointed. But I must say, I caught our friend Diluted Gooner, shout out DG, who did a show earlier today, or the night for you guys in the afternoon, about like it's still kind of football, right? I mean, big up Palace, big up Newcastle, big up the Golden Eagles, Bologna, right? I mean, beating AC Milan for the Coppa Italia, I believe. I'm not going to big up Spurs, for obvious reasons, but I'm going to leave it at football's football. And strange things happen.
Bro, you have to big them up. You have to big them up. We Arsenal fans have to feel the shame. You have to feel the shame. We have to big them up. They did what they had to do and they won the trophy.
I know, but it's not like, to me, it wasn't a very good game. There were certain moments throughout their fixtures throughout the run-in that were kind of some referee calls. Of course, don't give me games to think about because I didn't watch any of them. But they squeaked by AZ Alkmaar, right? I mean, it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't as clean as probably our friend Deji would like it to be, right? But again, you win these games kind of by the scruff of their neck. We've taken dirty 1-0s or dirty 2-1s, right? So, yeah, I mean, big up to Deji. Right, big up to Deji and the delusional Deji is delusional, but the real non-delusional Spurs fans, right, who've really been following the club for a long time and know that this is something they've wanted for a very, very, very long time. So I do have some empathy for that. But however, these are the same group of fans that were calling for Ange's head 2 weeks ago. So let's put everything in context, right? It wasn't like Brennan Johnson scored a worldie or they passed the ball through the midfield and Richarlison did some flicks or something. I mean, Richarlison actually was pretty decent in that game, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it was shit football to watch. Everybody said that. It was going to be a crap game, which it was. It would have been a crap game if United would have won. I don't know what Amarin's doing. He doesn't want to be there. It's like he's purposely picking a squad that's going to lose so he can purposely get fired at this point just to get the headlines. I don't know what's going on at United. That's a whole other story. But I just, it wasn't a clean win. It wasn't convincing. This is a team that's 17th place, and I used to call it. I called it a B-Tech trophy even this morning, but I'm not going to call it that anymore because, again, that is a trophy I wouldn't mind having in our trophy case. When it comes down to it, we should be the ones who've lifted that back in 2019, 2018, 19, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, we're the club that fired the manager that didn't get it done. We're the club that fired the manager now who we invested, into for only just one season. Speaking of Unai Emery, of course, and everything was going. The start wasn't bad. He gets us to a final, right? Which Arteta has not done. He gets us to the final. We get tonked by a top Chelsea team, by Eden Hazard, one of my top 5 Premier players of this generation. I mean, we got beat by a very good team, but at the same time, where's the head chopping for Arteta for 6 fucking years of nothing? Right? We're
Of
willing
nothing.
to let Emery go, who at least got us there. He at least got us there. And it was hard to watch a 4-1 drubbing, but sometimes that happens. And by the way, it was better football to watch than what we saw yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm just at the point to where it sounds desperate, but I just want a damn trophy in there just to give us something to talk about. And we were such a high
something to talk about.
win, right? We talked about Arteta. We talked about this, Tony, right after the game. Well, we thought Arteta may now have some credit in the bank, and maybe he does when it comes to these transfers. But the overall thing is, Tony and I know we ain't winning shit next year. It's a rebuild again. If we're getting a new left winger, we're getting a new center midfielder, we're getting a new striker, that to me speaks almost spine. The spine of the squad is being upgraded again. We're a project club again.
Yeah.
It's
that's another project altogether.
Project. Bro, we've been a project since 2006, right? Since 2006 Champions League final. We sold, I think Lee Gunner said pretty much all those players within 3 years were gone. Right? So I don't know where we turn from here. And I don't think Rodrigo and Gyokeres are going to save us, bro. I don't think we're guaranteed shit with the Rodrigo and the Gyokeres signing.
I think Mikel Arteta is a project manager. I think he's a project coach.
Well, the project's done. It's done.
He's a project manager. There was this argument. I heard that right now, and him and Rebecca are actually fighting for who to bring in as a striker to the football club. Mikel Arteta wants another project footballer called Benjamin Sesko, while Andrebetta wants a proven winner who's just ripped through Europe, scoring 62 goals this season. With God knows how many assists he's gotten. Victor Gyokeres, the Grim Ripper. And Mikel Arteta wants Benjamin Sesko, another project player again.
Correct.
When do we call this? When do we say enough is enough? Come on.
Moment Spurs
when do we say enough is enough? Enough of all these project players. And
the moment Spurs looked at that trophy last night, Tony, Kroenke should have been on the phone in Arteta's camp and said, "Thank you so much for your time. It's been a fantastic, but some mostly shitty 5 years. Thank you very much." Clink. The moment Spurs lifted that trophy, he should have been fucking sacked. On the second they lifted that trophy, you have to be cutthroat. You have to be cutthroat. There's no more time left to build. Saliba is gone next season. He's gone. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an actual swap for Saliba and Rodrigo and maybe a few quid.
I'm looking at that. That might be possible, man.
And that's even another failure.
I'm thinking that's possible, bro.
Contract. Berta has to do his job. He should have been sacked the moment they lifted that fucking trophy last night. A 17th place Tottenham Hotspur, a rival of
bro, there's no excuses. There's no excuses anymore,
bro.
But Oregon gonna when you look at that Man United team that Spurs played yesterday, and look at the Man United team we lost to in the FA Cup, and then you wonder how in God's name did Arsenal lose to this?
Right, and then take the McKee performances. How can he go from shit to Madrid, Tony? Why? There is a gap there. There is a gap. We're shit at United, but we play a miracle football at Madrid, and we can't duplicate that performance. Like we couldn't duplicate the Invincible title.
Yeah.
We won 3 FA Cups after that. That's it. And that was 8 years later. We're kidding ourselves as fans almost, bro, to think that we have any faith. And it's not the ownership. It's partly the board. We have an old board. Get some of them fucking geezers out of there, bro. Some of those guys have been board members for 60 years, 50 years. They used to talk about names in the board are hindering Arsenal back in the mid-2000s. And now it's the owners, and
Yeah.
now it's Arteta, which it should be Arteta, because he's the one that cost us a trophy the other season by playing Havertz at left fucking mid and Gabriel against Villa that cost us the fucking title because he did have the balls to play Havertz up front for one more game. And that's what I'm saying. Last night's the loss against Villa to lose the title is just as damaging as Spurs lifting the trophy, and he still doesn't get fired. They should have fired him the moment they lifted that trophy and them fucking fireworks went off, bro. Seriously. They fired Ancelotti, one of Madrid's worst seasons ever. I mean, he was kind of leaving, but he knew he was going to get fired anyway because the standards weren't met.
Of course, he needs to come in.
He needs us on aggregate, bro. 5-1 on a team that hasn't been in the semifinal since 2008. So that's embarrassing for Madrid, but we're not here to talk about Madrid. I mean, again, we were high on the hog just beating Madrid, but the fucking Spurs have lifted something. They have proof for their work. They have proof for their effort.
They have proof of work. How? I mean, if you're into crypto space, you understand what we're talking about. Proof of work. Bro, see, man, at this point, man.
They still won it.
Exactly, man. Because, I mean, this is embarrassing. It's more than embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, after spending all that money, in 6 seasons, 750 million. Okay, averaging 100 million every year, no problem, good. But again, you've spent that kind of money. You're meant to refurbish your squad to go for the big one.
$40,000 a week for Kai Havertz.
But we're out here, I mean, seeing Spurs who haven't spent what we spent. By the way, I mean, if you go by that 6-year stretch, they haven't outspent us. They haven't spent even more than half of what we spent in 6 seasons. And bro, we're still gonna spend more. I'm not even sure that this manager even wants to bring in winners into the team.
Right.
This argument is having with better about who to bring in as a striker. And again, man, Oregon, I would allow you to take this one, man.
Sure.
This manager had glowing words for Kai Havertz in the press conference in that game before Newcastle. He said that he's completely shattered all the whole records in the gym. He's destroyed all the whole metrics while he was recovering. That he is bulked up. He's done lots of stuff to transform his physical form into something different. Okay, good and okay. When you hear a manager who is under fire,
right,
to produce, to win a trophy, and it says that of a striker who has been here now for about 2 seasons, I think, gotten us over the line.
Yep.
And we've been plagued with striker inconsistencies or forward inconsistency. What comes to your mind about that? Do you think this guy is still going to stay here next year to and be the main striker? Or what do you think is going on? Because you can't give those glowing words and send the guy packing.
No, he's left mid
this summer.
He's going to play left mid. It's going to be Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard at midfield, and Zubamendi and Moreno coming off the bench, with either Gyokeres or Sesko up front. But any striker puts Kai Havertz at left mid because he ain't going to bench him. And you know what? Kai Havertz can book up all the fuck he wants, Tony. He still can't put a goal in the back of the onion bag on a half turn. He still can't score from the half turn. He can't run onto a ball and actually thrash it in the net from 16 yards. He can't do the things Moreno did at fucking against Madrid. He doesn't score that goal. That was a beautiful goal by Moreno. I don't see Kai Havertz on the turn doing that, bro. He ain't that kind of player. He's trying to bulk up because he's trying to be like Holland. He's trying to be like Gyokeres. Gyokeres is already beefed up, bro. Gyokeres is a fucking brick shithouse. And if that,
he's a beast. I call him the Grim Reaper. I call him the Grim Reaper.
I mean, like I was saying
he's bulked up and scoring the half turn. I mean, it's fast. It's good in the air. He could score headers. I mean, he's a very, very technical player.
Just lifted
running
the
behind
title at Sporting
defenses.
Lisbon. Just lifted the
Huh?
title at Sporting Lisbon. They won the title last
I mean,
weekend.
he's a proven winner. He's a proven winner.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. He's a
Sesko's
proven winner.
Hey, if you want to press me, Arteta, go get both. If you go get Gyokeres and Sesko, I have no problem with that. But if you're buying Sesko over Rodrigo, then we have a problem because that means Martinelli is supposed to do something. I think Martinelli's going to go, bro. I really do. If Rodrigo comes in, I think Martinelli goes. Maybe Trossard goes. Maybe he keeps Martinelli. I would keep Martinelli and bring him off the bench. Maybe some lower level Premier League games, but I wouldn't play Martinelli in the top 4, top 5.
Bro. I want him to go. I want him to clear the wage bill. I wanted to clear the wage bill. I mean, it's better off we even use the academy players.
Over Martinelli?
Bro, it's more better we bring in academy players to even, do something down there than all this.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey,
bro, his numbers doesn't fit in.
If Max Dalman's ready, I'm ready. But he's only going to be 16 years old, bro. I don't think he's going to get that sort of thing. Not under Arteta. Look at what he's done.
They've already told Max Dalman that he would have he will be in the first team next season. But this is why I have a problem with us selling them now. I want them out, but again, when you're an Arsenal fan, you know about the squad depth issues we have in our football club. Big up to Paul Forward, man. How are you doing, Paul? Paul, you've gained promotion to the Premier League. I mean, Birmingham. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. How have you been? Says I've liked the stream. I've shared the stream. Thank you, man. Big up to you, Paul. Hope you're doing okay. But again, see, Argon Gunner, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. This manager has fucked up everything. I was so freaking embarrassed. Would you have sacked
him if Spurs lift the trophy? Would you have sacked him the moment Spurs let off the fireworks?
Bro, I want him out even before. Bro, I'm actually checked out. Bro, I didn't want to do streams no more. Because, there's nothing to... bro, this season is a failure.
True.
I wonder how people... I'm not saying other people are not true Arsenal fans. Like, I'm a very personal Arsenal fan. I just looked at this season, man, and I cried. I just broke down, man. I broke down
against PSG.
Bro, we failed in everything.
I knew in December we weren't going to win the league. We all knew in December we weren't going to win the league when we were down like 8 points already against
Liverpool. Cup, FA Cup. Bro, isn't it shocking to you? Just see Crystal Palace win a trophy.
Right. I think we could have beat them in the final. Oh, we would have played Man City.
Bro, we couldn't beat a dead Man United team.
I know. Bro,
I feel this pain. I feel it in my marrow, bro.
That was a big low. But
my days, man.
That's what the thing is. You're upset. You're upset, like I am too. And I think I speak for a lot of the fan base in our community are as well. But the confusion really lies to me, Tony, like I was saying earlier. You have these crap performances against United FA Cup, but you're on fucking, Mount Fuji when you're playing Real Madrid. Like, there's a gap there, bro. Like, we have to figure out how to bridge that gap. Like, is it the manager, but I also blame the players, like against Man United, right? There was performances there that were fucking awful. Right, I will back Arteta and say he's not responsible for Odegaard running away from the ball. He's not responsible for Odegaard giving up the ball 14 times. That's on fucking Odegaard, right? And you replace that player when they do bad. But he doesn't even really do that because everyone who kisses his ass gets playing time, essentially. If you're an Arteta, yes, man, you'll play. If you're an Arteta, I don't know, then you're going to sit the bench. Ethan Nwaneri. Bro, if United or Chelsea come in for a bid, that fucking kid's gone. If Chelsea,
do you think so? I don't think so.
Come in
I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna go. I think he has been brainwashed to stay at Arsenal.
I don't know. The fan base doesn't know. Arteta doesn't know. There's no transparency. Think about what he's thinking right now. There's no transparency. What is he supposed to think and feel after going through this, being hyped up as this next thing, scoring goals, doing what he's supposed to do, basically subbing in for our best player and actually producing. And then when he doesn't produce for one game, the fan base is like, okay, next week. But Arteta says no and fucking sits him for 3 weeks and gives him fucking 5-10 minutes here and there because Saka comes back. Saka's been not that good since he came back. Let's be real. There's been some moments.
Let's be real.
But he hasn't been tearing it down since he came back from injury. I wonder why. Well,
but again, that's expected. I mean, he just came back from.
Well, he's still fucking injured, Tony. How many times you played injured players? Here to there said it. Assemble said it. You've said it. Lee Gunner, Ola, Northside, everybody. He plays injured players. Declan Rice, broken toe. Saka, bad leg. Or burnt out. Odegaard, he played him somewhat injured. Martinelli, he's played a bit injured. Ben White, he's played a bit injured. Saliba, he played a bit injured last season.
Jurgen Timber is going on the knife now. I mean, Jurgen Timber is going to go on the knife for an ankle injury.
Who is?
Jurgen Timber. He has been playing injured. He's going for surgery. I heard he'll be going through surgery in a matter of days now.
It's because we aren't doing what we need to do in the transfer window. And first of all, we need to solidify our 11. I still don't think Arteta has a main 11 that he can play consistently, right? I don't think he has his main squad figured out to this day. To this day, he does not have.
Exactly, and that's one of the most annoying things.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen Thomas Partey at right back, right? So he doesn't have it figured out. But it's his whole fault because they haven't get the transfers in to support a starting 11. Right? It's fucking Timber, and it's Ben White, and it's Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey's playing the same position. I'll just invert him. Oh, but when he gets beat on the winger and they score a goal, I'm not going to blame Thomas Partey. Well, no, you should blame yourself, you fucking div. Right? If you have, just go to a 3-4-3. That's the whole thing. If you're going to invert a defender, Tony, just go to a 3-4-3 formation from the get-go. And not
just go back to a 3-4-3. Why again, this manager, I mean, he's not. I mean, he's so stuck up with how he wants to play,
Right.
Again, that's that manager, yeah. But again, Argon Gunner, we have word that Arsenal Football Club are looking at Rodrigo. Yeah. Now, what do you think about Rodrigo? Yeah, I mean, playing in Real Madrid. Playing in Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe has taken his opportunity. It is usually a left-sided winger. But the good thing about him is that he could play across all three front lines in the attack. That's a good thing about Rodrigo. He could play as a striker, could play as a left winger, he could play as a right winger.
Yeah.
Even in some incendiary spaces, you can even play him as a second striker or playing just behind the striker.
Or 4-1-1 or something.
Yeah, if worse comes to worse. So I mean, we're being linked with him. I think I'm hearing that it might happen because he wants to leave the football club.
Right.
Now, what do you think about Rodrigo? And again,
I think
what should we do to Martinelli or Trossard when it comes to Rodrigo coming in? So that's a 2-in-1 question.
I think at this point we're for your last part of the question, I think we keep Trossard, we keep Martinelli, and we buy Rodrigo. And we buy because we need depth still. Still we need depth.
We need squad depth.
So, hey, if Trossard's going to sign up for another year extension, I think Martinelli still has maybe a couple years left on his contract. I think he signed a 6 or 7 year contract, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a year and a half. But anyway, at this point, I would keep Trossard, Martinelli. At this point, right? I would get the Rodrigo done deal immediately. He's top class, bro. And he has been playing the right side because Vinny Jr. is on the left side, right? So that's a Carlo Ancelotti thing. One thing Rodrigo, now was Xabi Alonso stepping in, could say, hey, I can mix this up. Now, with Xabi Alonso being appointed the manager, that changes things, right? Or he could see Rodrigo as, like, okay, if Rodrigo wants out, I'll want him out. There we go, right? And then make it happen. But I wouldn't leave out Liverpool. I wouldn't leave out Chelsea either of making some bids for him. And I would even think possibly, I don't know the funds of these clubs, but maybe somebody like Inter, right? If they do win the Champions League, they'll have a windfall of cash to spend. And they may look at somebody like Rodrigo.
Head to there. What are we talking about funds? What are we talking about funds for?
We got funds,
Champions League, Arsenal have made £99.1 million. Only. Bro, only this year alone.
80 million.
£99.1 million. What are we talking about? Bro, forget about money. Let's not even talk about the funds. The funds are there. The funds are there. Go borrow money. Bro, one entity where, borrow money, do anything you want to do. Bro, we've had a windfall from Champions League. How about reinvesting that money? Bro, if you check, Mikel Arteta has spent nearly up to 700 million, 750 million euros,
Yeah,
I would say in the space of six seasons. So what does that mean? An average of about over £100 million every season since he has been here. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I know we got 99.
And we just made that 100 million, and we just made that 100 million from a big windfall from Champions League alone this year. So what are we talking about? Bro, the money is there to spend.
Well,
the money is there.
It's there. If the money wasn't there, I don't think the links would be there, right? Because people would already say what you're saying here to there. So the money's not there, those links would disappear. I think we're linked to Rodrigo, but I got to be a realist, Tony. We've been linked to how many players? Thousands over the years. Who do we end up getting, right? I mean, that's the thing. We got fucking Raheem Sterling. So I would say let's not get our underwear in a bunch just yet for Rodrigo, because I think that's, first of all, man is on the beach right now, right? Man is on the beach. Man is on vacation right now. He's not worried right now, I think, about signing. But I do think we're in for him. And again, I think Liverpool are in for him. And I think Chelsea will make a play for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if like Inter or Bayern Munich even look that way. Because 80 million is actually I've been quoted 80. I saw 80 million quoted more than two places for Rodrigo. So I think 80 million is the price tag. But again, it's how we sell our project, right? And if Berta can do what he can do, I think we can get Rodrigo. But I'm not going to get all gassed up for it, man. I'm more gassed up for Gyokeres. I think Gyokeres is more realistic right now than Rodrigo, because again, Gyokeres has been linked in the last year, right? There's stronger links to Gyokeres than there's Rodrigo, which the links just started about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oregon Gunner, I do think that us getting a left winger should be of equal seating with getting a striker into the football club.
I agree with you, bro. I agree.
I really do think that getting a winger, it should be at the top of Arsenal's importance when it comes to recruitment this season. I mean, we've seen mostly a player who could play in all three prong front attack. I mean, he could play in the left, he could play in the middle, could play as a false line, could play on the left. Bro, he could do everything in that front line. So, I mean, if a club like Athletic Bilbao is telling us to fork out 100 million for that player, Nico Williams, why don't we fuck that same amount of money, in fact less, with 80 million euros, and go get in a Rodrigo, who could play in all front positions? We always have injuries anyway.
Right.
So he could play in any of all those areas when any of these clowns we have down there are injured.
Well, would you spend 100 million on Nico Williams? He's a $45 million player.
No. I don't think it's good enough.
Nico Williams is a Spanish Martinelli.
Mm-mm.
Let's be real. They have the same sort of
I don't
traits.
want
Nico
it.
Williams probably picks his head up a bit more, but I can almost guarantee you that Martinelli has a better eye for goal than Nico Williams. But we'll
I'd
never know
rather
that
get
because he never gets,
Umbuemo. I'd rather
you
get
know.
Umbuemo. I'd rather get
Yeah,
Umbuemo on the
I would
wings
right,
than.
right. So I mean, well, with that being said, I don't know how strong those links are. Right, we know there's strong links to Gyokeres. We know there's really strong links to Zubermendi, which I think that deal's probably halfway done. And the Rodrigo stuff fairly new, but if Rodrigo can be sold on the so-called project, I think there's a chance we could get him. And at 80 million, like you've said, I've said, that's a good deal for three positions. Because if you basically look at it, three players at 25 million apiece is 75 mil, right? Your left, center, and your right. So you might as well get one player for 80 mil that can cover all three positions.
I'm
I,
thinking a
I
swap
just
deal might bring Rodrigo to our football club. And this is the
right,
reality that we are not looking at.
and I
We
know who
have
you're
a
talking
player
about in that swap deal.
who has been linked to Real Madrid for
Yeah,
about 2
we
seasons
know who
now,
you're talking
William
about.
Saliba. And
Right,
and 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 I think he's pissed off at what's going on at the football club. He knows we're
he's
not
probably
winners. He knows that
right.
we've been losing left, right, and center in
And remember,
everything. I
Arteta
mean,
loaned him
look at
out for that
how
extra
sports
season at
just dunked on
Marseille.
our face. I
Arteta
mean,
had the
what
chance
do
to
you
bring him in
think
too.
Saliba would want to stay here again? No, he would want to
No,
go. So
no,
literally, what I'm really thinking or seeing is that Real Madrid will come calling this summer, and they might say, you know what, Arsenal, we have answers for you in your left-sided problems, in your left wing problems, in your right wing problems. When
right.
Bukayo Saka is
We got
down
to
and
solve
out,
one of our
even as a
problems.
striker, when you do need one, your answer is Rodrigo. But you know what? Yeah, we do need Saliba. We've already established
Right.
that connection with you guys. Let's go for a swap deal.
That move will happen. I don't know if the swap deal is right, but the Saliba move will happen if it's this season or next season. Um, right. What do you do? I mean, this is right, and this is the thing. It's fucking chess. It ain't fucking checkers, bro. You know, Real Madrid were embarrassed. And remember,
Yeah,
they had to watch Barcelona not only
I
get
mean,
beat by us,
look at here
but beat
today.
by
Look at what here
Barcelona.
today says.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tough
look
of a
at what here today
conversation.
says down there.
Yeah, that's why Berta's here.
Yeah,
Because Mikel Arteta cannot have those conversations. He does not know about those
at all.
conversations. He cannot
Arteta's an
conduct
idiot.
himself in those
Can't
conversations,
have those.
right, at all. So leave it to Berta. So if Berta could find a way to keep Saliba, let's say for another 2 years, we bring Rodrigo in now. Saliba signs another 2-year extension. At that time, they get first refusal to Saliba. That's what we need to do. But Saliba may not go for that. Bringing in Rodrigo, that's great. That's great. But again, we're going to have to find another center back that's worth another 70 to 80 mil. And who is that? Like, who is that? And by the way, Saudi are still sniffing at Gabriel. It's not like the Gabriel to Saudi links have just died down either. They're offering him 400 grand a week, bro. 400 grand a
Okay,
week. That's
Oregon,
life-changing money.
let's delve deeper into this William Saliba
Those
stuff.
links aren't dead.
Last season, I mean this season. Oh my God, I'm already talking of this season as last season. Oh my day, bro, that's how much I want to get this
I
season
get it.
over with.
I
And
get
see,
it.
Oregon, we did see that this season William Saliba struggled, bro. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw glimpses of it
Okay,
last
go.
season when he got injured, but this season, man, I mean, yeah, he's had incredible displays too, but
Yeah,
man, he's been shocking this season
there's one
also.
save he did against Wolves that was
He's
phenomenal.
been shocking this season. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. But do you think that bringing in another monster of a defender
Mm.
and having that swap deal to bring in a world class forward into our football club should be in our best interest because William Saliba is going to leave anyway. He's going to leave
Well,
anyway.
that's where you say, look,
So,
we're bringing it.
I mean, I
Say,
don't know.
look, well, that's when you tell them like we're bringing in Rodrigo, we're bringing in Gyokeres, and we're bringing in Zubermendi. Again, that's part of what you have to sell Saliba to sign the extension, right? But a 1 year, But if he just does a 1-year extension, bro, that ain't going to be good enough. It's like he's already gone. And he's thinking that 1 year during that extension, he's going to give 120% for the badge. I'm not so sure. You know, and again, we bring Rodrigo in. And let's not forget, when we got Ozil, he did not want to come to Arsenal. He was living life in Madrid as being the number one assist for Ronaldo at the time. Ronaldo was gutted when Ozil left.
Big up Jay Tapia. Jay Tapia, that's a real one. He was on my other show too. Big up to you, Jay Tapia 93, man.
We've got to sell the project to Rodrigo. He's not just going to sign, right? Just because he's going to look at the best offer he can. And again, don't leave out Liverpool, Chelsea, Inter, or Bayern Munich, right? Inter's going to have $200 million from if they win the Champions League, which I predict they will beat PSG. You know, $200 million to spend, bro. And that's not even counting the endorsements and all the other image rights that come with that. Inter could be making big moves. And again, it's still fucking May, bro. The season's not even over. You know, clubs don't really get going until about June 1st, right? After the Champions League final. And then they really look at the broad spectrum of their season and they start making moves in June. But the thing is, if we're making moves now, that's a good sign, Tony, because you and I know the history of us signing players at the last minute, hearing nothing from July, nothing in the first 2 weeks of August, and then boom, bang, bosh, we end up with fucking Moreno and, you know, and fucking Pearl Jam, California Prince Boy.
Oregon, this manager is still here. Oregon,
right.
Right now, does it still matter who we get in the transfer window when this manager is still here? Will he work with these players? Can he get the best out of these players that were actually thinking of bringing in? What will be his relationship with Victor Gyokeres, whom he has formally said isn't a world-class finisher? He publicly said it. He didn't close his mouth. He publicly said that Victor Gyokeres isn't, a potent striker. So, if this manager is still down here, if the manager is still down here, even if we bring in these killer players we're talking about right now, what will still happen? Shout out to Don C. My partner, my partner in Soccer's in TV. I've missed my brother, man. Me and him will fight all the time on the show, but I love this brother to the cause, my brother. Don't see. Big ups, don't see. I've checked out the season, man. I've checked out. You guys still have the temerity to still do shows, bro. I've checked out, bro. This is a shitty season, man. I've checked out. But I'm back to save my face again. So
like what you're
I'll do a couple of shows before I go to rest a little bit in the summer. Yeah, Oregon.
Sorry to interrupt you, bro. No matter what Arsenal sign, as long as Arteta's manager, I don't trust this manager for spending another 250 mil. But if it's Rodrigo, Gyokeres, and Zubimendi, I'm fine with that because I think those are three top players. As much as I know about Zubimendi,
but will Mikel Arteta get the best out of them?
I don't know. Yeah, that's
Oregon doing it. Yeah, and Postecoglou just got the best out of the Tottenham team and got them an European trophy.
Tony,
this manager, even with us having better players, couldn't even get us over the line against the shitty Man United team in the FA Cup.
But
so
if we have
I'm not saying if we manage to bring in a Victor Gyokeres, if we manage to bring in a Rodrigo, if we manage to bring in maybe someone in that number 10 area, I'm looking at Xavi Simons. He wants to leave the German Bundesliga. We should be going down there talking to these people because we have a stinky captain down there playing at number 10. Bro, we need someone who will come there and do magic. Xavi Simons is someone who could come in and do something for us. But again, throw that all away. Even if we have all these players around, will this manager get the best out of them? And Oregon Gunner, that is my biggest fear. It's not even the fear now of actually going into the market to do business because I see us doing business after this embarrassment yesterday.
Right.
Seeing our toilet neighbors dunk over us. We're working competition, bro. I do know they will go all out right now to go bring in reinforcements, but will this manager do anything for us? Would he? I mean, even if you bring in those players, will he get the best out of them? Will Victor Gyokeres still be the cream ripper? Will he still score 2 goals in a season? This is the problem.
I think yes and no, right? I think yes, because the team improves automatically the moment Victor Gyokeres joins. The team improves automatically the moment Rodrigo joins. Again, that's going to be a hard signing to get over the line. If we can do it, I'll praise Berta, right? But again, the Rodrigo thing, I know. But anyway, let's say just devil's advocate, we signed both, right? I think yes, we will improve. We will improve. There will be games that we win. I think more often, right? We won't draw. I don't think we're going to draw 14 games. I do think we will improve. However, I still will leave it on this manager to mess it up, who will break something that isn't broken, right? And that's the problem, is that we will have success week in, week out. We may go on a 4, 5, 6 game win streak, right? Because you have a Gyokeres and Rodrigo who can do those sorts of things. But once that stops happening, then what, right? Then comes, like we've all talked about, the plan B. Or if Gyokeres isn't scoring on the day and Rodrigo is, locked down or something and can't do Rodrigo things, then we're back to square one. And that's what a lot of us have been saying anyway. No matter who you sign, if Arteta's in charge, it still goes back to square one, meaning that it doesn't matter what players are in there because it's the system that's broken, not the players, right? No matter what, it will go back to Arteta. And I'm fine with that. He should, like Gyokeres said, he should be getting all the scoring now. He should have been sacked the moment they lifted the trophy yesterday, bro. That's a slap in the face to every...
Bro, it's a dunk on our faces. Any Arsenal fan who is angry about what happened yesterday, check yourself. Check yourself. If you're an Arsenal fan and you didn't feel pain, bro, I've already checked out the season already. I mean, and that one yesterday just completely sealed. I mean, it just covered.
Absolutely. It just closed the cast.
I mean, it just covered the cast, bro. It just covered it. I mean, what are we doing here? It just covered it, bro. It rubbed salt all over the wound this season, bro. Arsenal is dead, buried in the coffin. And then even if there are wounds and lots of injuries to us, I mean, Spurs just come up and just pour salt all over the wound, even if the dead body is already dead, staying there in the coffin. That's what they did to us this season. Dead, buried, and then
you're right. It was dead after the 2-0 loss earlier in the season. Well,
and the worst part is that they didn't even win a domestic cup, bro. Do you understand do you understand what really happened yesterday? Spurs did not just win a trophy, bro.
In the Champions League,
they won a major European competition,
right? And they're going to play in the Super Cup against Inter or PSG.
Allah reminded that to me. And then it collapsed. Bro, I would have collapsed live on air. I was like, oh my days. Oh Lord, I'm tired.
All this money to rebuild. They're going to rebuild. They're going to get new players in on a manager that finished them 17th. They're going to make like a shit ton of money. They're going to buy shit players with a shit manager that ended them at 17th. If I'm Spurs, I fire Ange immediately because they're going to get like 300 fucking mil or more to rejuvenate that team. And and I know, and everyone in the chat knows, they're going to buy shit because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And again, shout out Spurs. Yeah, you won. No, I'm not shout out. Whatever, Spurs. Okay, you won. Great. But the thing is that you could barely get by AZ Alkmaar. You could barely get by some of those teams in the group stage. Hey, and we're no better. We've lost to Olympiacos. We've tied Rapid Vienna. I mean, I'm not saying that, we're this shining beacon of fucking football brilliance, but if I'm a Tottenham fan, I'm still questioning going forward. Like, okay, we can move a little dust here to make room for this trophy. Fair enough. But let's see what happens next. Let's see how you spend this windfall of money you're going to get come July 1st, right? And I guarantee you they're going to buy shit. And I guarantee you they're not going to finish in the top 6 next season. They are not finishing in the top 6. This is going to be a one-gun Leicester City Fugazi type thing. You know, it is. And deep down, Spurs fans know it is. Deji knows it is. But hey, he's living his glory. He's dancing his fucking Saturday Night Live, doing all his singing.
Yeah, Deji Spurs, I mean, he's shaking his bum, bro, everywhere, bro. Bro, man, even my phone is being bumped by Deji, bro. I mean, he's great, bro. But again, I mean, I'm happy for him, man. I mean, they've been the butt of jokes from Arsenal fans. We don't even regard them. The way we look at them, we abuse them. I mean, we don't allow them sit on the table to have a fair discussion with us. And this is what we get. Yeah.
Right.
See, even a small snake that you put, I mean, you can't say because a snake is very small, a tiny baby snake is very small and has no venom or whatever, and then you put it in your pocket. You can't do that. The moment you put a small snake inside your pocket, what does it do to you? It bites you. It's the same thing. We never allow them to sit on the table. We always banter them. Bro, Arsenal is the most bantered football club right now in the airspace, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. Yeah. If Chelsea wins this last installment of the competition, I mean, just give it up. Just give it up. Just give it up. It's over. Just give it up.
They're going to beat Venice.
We've been battered everywhere, bro. We've been battered everywhere, bro.
This is fucking embarrassing.
Shocking.
I mean, but see, the thing is, Tony, for us fans, it's not like it's just this one season. It's compounding. It's compounding the second place. It's compounding the 3 times we've lost at Newcastle and won once in 2 seasons. It's compounding the bad decisions by Arteta. It's compounding, right, the FA Cup loss to United. It's not like this. It's just like a one-off. Oh, shit, we had a bad season now. We still came in second. No, this is repeating itself. And now, and to think that Crystal Palace isn't going to be better next season. To think that Newcastle isn't going to be better next season. And this is why I get so sick of people like Egal and them always moving the goalposts saying next season. We've lived through this now 3 times in a row. There is no thing as next season. Does getting Gyokeres, Rodrigo, and Zubamendi improve us? Yes, but that doesn't guarantee us a trophy-lifting squad, right? Gyokeres still needs to find his way around the Premier League again. And it's not like the defense in Portugal's, fucking that hard. I could probably score 5 or 6 goals in that league.
For me, it's not even about it's even about the manager. It has to do. It has to deal more with the manager, and if he can grill them to get the best out of them. But again, do you agree?
But if the best out of him is going to be 12 goals, then what the fuck are we spending $80 million for, right? That's the issue. If Gyokeres scores 30 goals his first season in the Prem, all praise Gyokeres and Berta, right? And
if we had a striker that would give us 30 goals in a
season, what the fuck?
Oregon, if we had a striker that would give us 30 goals a season, would we have won? Could we have won the Premiership? Yes. So now, if we bring in a Victor Gyokeres, who is going to guarantee us at least 30 goals in a season,
there's no guarantee of that. Don't say that, Tony. Do not say that.
Hypothetically, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Hypothetically, I'm just saying. If we bring in a Victor Gyokeres, I mean, bro, the guy is a grim ripper. I mean, for 2 seasons, I mean, look at what he's done. Look at what he's the grim ripper. I mean,
he's not going against Konami.
He doesn't get high stakes than that, man. He's the Grim Reaper.
I
All
get it.
over
I
Europe, bro.
know. He is,
52 goals last season, bro. Won the
which is
title.
crazy.
This season,
It's
62.
crazy.
Bro, show me a striker who has this kind of astronomical number. Even Cristiano Ronaldo in his heydays, even
This
as
is
young
true.
as he was in his heydays,
50 goals
didn't
one
shatter
season.
such records when he was in Portugal. I'm sorry. Yeah, you could talk of trophies here and there, but he never shattered those kind of records.
You can't talk about goal scoring, Tony, without talking about the other squad's defenses. He's not facing Van Dijk and Konate. He's not facing a Ruben Diaz. He's not facing, Diego, fucking Carlos.
But it's not like it's not like Portuguese. It's not like the Portuguese
Yes,
defenders down there or whatever.
Right.
It's not as
It's not even
shitty as the
comparable.
French league. I mean, it's a decent league. I'm not
Right.
saying I rate it highly up there, but I'm saying that the Portuguese league is a decent league.
Yes, it is.
We
Yes,
have
it
lots
is.
of players who have come up the ranks from there.
It is.
David
Of
Silva
course.
came up from there. Bernardo Silva came up from there. Ronaldo. I mean, we have lots of. I mean, great players who, come out from that zone. But again, that's not even what I'm contending at. What I'm contending is if you've just agreed that if we had a striker who could guarantee us 30 goals in the Premier League alone,
right,
we could have won the title this season. Good and okay.
Possibly.
Throw that all away. If Victor Gyokeres comes in under this manager, Mikel Arteta, and we do the same thing in terms of structurally our defense is okay, in the midfield it's okay, and we go bring in this guy that will put in 30 goals in a season for us, do we win the title if we get our answer and the manager is still here? Because you've already agreed that if that a 30 goal striker was what lost us the title last season. If we go in bringing someone who will score 30 or more goals, what does that do for us next season?
I think he's a huge addition to our squad. But again, I think it's going to take some. I would not put that expectation on him for the first season, right? Again, when I talk about Portuguese teams, I'm talking about primarily their back lines, right? The actual players, not the teams. I know Benfica, Sporting, Porto all have history. All are Champions League contenders, especially Benfica.
But he scored in the Champions League. He scored in the Champions League. He scored goals against big teams in the Champions League. So if you're concerned about his scoring prowess against domestically in Portugal, but he did score in Europe.
Right.
Year in, year out, he's been scoring in Europe.
But Tony and I know the Premier League is based on pace and power, which Gyokeres has both, right? But he's going to come against tougher individual center backs, right? Van Dijk, Konate, Branthwaite, whoever names you want to put in there in the top 6 or 8 clubs. And those players are very good at keeping strikers from scoring, right? Ruben Diaz, Van Dijk, Salud, Gabriel, right? So the level that he will have to perform at is going to demand more of Victor than what he has given at Sporting because the defense is so much tougher, right? It's going to be, and we can't put the 30-goal label on him on the first season, right? If again, and I throw this question back to you, if he scores 12 goals, 15 goals, and we don't finish first, is he a failure? Or is it Arteta a failure?
Then why are we bringing him in if he's going to give us 16 goals? Then why are we bringing him in if we can as well just keep Kai Havertz to win us the title? We can as well just keep Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has scored about 13 goals this season. We can as well keep him than bring in a striker that will come in to score 15 goals.
That's not the reasoning I'm looking. What I'm wanting you to say is that makes sense, but again, he's going to hopefully sign a 4-year contract. I don't want fans like us getting mixed up in the 30-goal season scoring Gyokeres. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
season talk. Yeah.
That's going to let you
Yeah.
down. It's going to let us down when he's not able to do that in one of the better, the best, toughest defensive league in the world. An Italian league, people say,
Yeah.
oh, we're defensive, whatever. But I mean, be honest. Going against Van Dijk and Konate as a striker is no fucking picnic. Going against Diaz, the Kanji, and whatever center backs you want to throw in there, the Mark Gui, it's Crystal Palace.
I hear you, and that's why I told you that he's. That's why I told you that he scored in Europe. That's why I told you that he scored in Europe. That's why I told you. But for country, he also still scored. He plays for Sweden. He scored lots of goals for Sweden too. So
he's a good player.
He's an all-round striker. He's good in the air, good with his legs. He can score in the half turn. He can do anything. Hold-up play is good.
Yeah, but again, I go back to the 30-goal label, right? What you said is all true. Hey, there's more pros than cons, right? For sure. I'm with you on that, Tony. But again, we can't. I'm wondering about again when the 30 goals don't come. How are the fans going to react? And number one, how's Arteta going to react? Is he just going to bench the guy now and treat him like Ranieri? I mean, how is this going to play out when Gyokeres just doesn't, make the stars?
Bro, the manager needs to go. I mean, that should be the solution to the problem. The manager
because he doesn't got to manage. So we don't want to build ourselves up and give this guy this big label when we know in the past that it really hasn't worked out for us that way, right? Giroud was our last best striker. Let's be real. Aubameyang, right? My apologies. Yeah. Aubameyang was our last best striker, right? So, we saw how he got treated, right? When sometimes the production from Aubameyang wasn't there, but fuck, it was Arteta's problem because he was playing him at left wing. So there's roots to this stuff, right? But again, Gyokeres, a great signing. Rodrigo, fantastic. Zubimendi, Tony, I've said it, I'll say it before. I would bench Odegaard and put Zubimendi there. Or fix up that midfield to Odegaard's out. You can play a flat 4-3-3.
Well, again, Zubimendi
with
let's don't throw this about. Zubimendi is not a 10. Oregon, Zubimendi.
Okay, stop, pause right there. Let me keep cooking. Shout out Don C. Is Odegaard a fucking 10 anyway?
Shout out Don C, yeah, man. Big up.
Is Odegaard a 10? Is Odegaard, yes, what's a 10? Is he creative? No. He runs away from the ball. What are we talking about here? He's one of the worst captains this club's ever had. Zubimendi is Zubimendi can place a through ball. He doesn't have to pitch his hair and put in a lob cross that nobody's tall enough to get anyway. And that's why Arteta wants Sesko for the height so Odegaard can play a flat ball in. I mean, Zubimendi can play a through ball. Odegaard dinks it around, looking around like, what the fuck's going on? He's not good enough for Arsenal Football Club.
All I'm just saying is that structurally, Zubimendi isn't built to be a 10. He's not a 10. He's not a creative. He's not a creative midfielder.
There's no 10, Tony. You know this. There's no 10 in a flat 4-3-3. If you play an attacking 4-3-3, you have your 2, your 1, and then your 3 strikers. You've played FIFA before, Tony. You've picked the fucking formations. A flat 4-3-3.
No, I mean, I get you, but again, you have to go for the eye test and you have to go for real facts. The fact there is that Zubimendi is not coming down here to be a number 10. That's the truth. You know that. He's not coming down here to be a number 10. We need to go with the realities of
number
the
10 is for a 4-2-3-1. Number 10 is for a 4-2-3-1 formation where they can play in the middle, but just right behind the striker and have the wide players. We're not set up to have a number 10. There's nothing creative about Odegaard. You just need someone who can turn, Tony.
I do agree with you, but I'm talking about. No, I agree with you, but I'm saying let's be real. Zubimendi is not going to play number 10. So if we're being real, if we're being real about
I think
where we are as a football club, what is going to happen to Martin Odegaard? It's not about me and you saying, hey, Odegaard is shitty. I know it's shitty. You know it's shitty. But
yes,
the realities of it is that he's still going to be here next season. And Zubimendi, who is coming in as a midfielder, is not that ilk of a player to do the job that's required to be done in that number 10 position. If you need to do something, then you have to go tap into the market. And that's what I told you about Javi Siemens. Is someone that could literally
we have one
spot
area.
things.
Why go by Xavi Simmons
Or
when we got
Navy,
right.
Bro, I've also heard of Max Dolman too, the guy that we have in under our ranks in our academy.
Where has this number 10? Where has this number 10 gotten us so far? Right, this number 10
it hasn't gone us anywhere, man.
I get it. The flicks and tricks are there. I get that. The hair flicks, the tiki taka, it's there with Odegaard. There's no finished fucking product with this guy, bro. And
the hair flicks and the snotter.
You could play Zubimendi on the right side. You could rotate in the back as Partey or Rice move to the right and left. You can rotate the flat three, but flat three with Rice in the middle going up and down, box to box. I'm for that. But then you have to find a left midfielder, which I think a striker will be Kai Havertz, right? So you get where I'm saying that? But imagining that if you just left out Odegaard and you put Zubimendi there, you will have just that more on the carpet direct.
Can you read what here today said? Can you read what here today said?
Yes, I agree with you.
We have a big problem in this football club. Bro, I watch the Spanish La Liga most times. I've watched Zubimendi most times. He's not a 10. He's not a 10. He's far from a 10. In fact, we putting him in this position where he can advance. He's so overrated. He's nothing like that. He's nothing like that.
I understand.
Naturally, he's more of a defensive midfielder, if you want to put it. Or you could put him in a double pivot with another midfielder that can be able to go up pitch. He's not built to be an up tempo kind of guy. He's that kind of guy you just slot into the middle and he can choke things up. He could,
since Ozil, bro,
he's not that guy to push your game forward. Yeah, he can do that in spells, but it's not in his wheelhouse to do that.
I know, Tony, and that's not what I'm expecting. What I'm trying to say is,
because you were just saying you want him in that number 10 position.
It's not a number 10 in the 4-3-3.
So state clearly what you want from Zubimendi.
Wait, okay.
What do you want from Zubimendi?
If he plays what I want, if he was to sit Odegaard and play Zubimendi on the right side of 4-3-3, he will play more of a direct style football. Right? Because the Odegaard number 10 style has won us fuck all. The number 10 has won us nothing. The creativity. Define the creativity that we've gotten from Odegaard. Define it. What has it been? It's been looped balls that kind of come flat, waiting for Martinelli or Saka to attack in the box. And that's fine, but other players can do that. What I want is more, if we get Gyokeres, I want direct balls through the channels to my running on mobile striker and Gyokeres to put it in the back of the net. I don't need him to hold up the ball, click it with his heel, pass it to the outside of his right of his boot, flick it up in the air, touch it back, spin around, do a Cruyff turn to nothing. When you have Zubimendi, it's more direct. You see what I'm saying now? Zubimendi's not going to do 10 things because I don't want him to do 10 things. I want him to put the ball on the carpet and play direct passes through the channel to Gyokeres running onto him. If we want change, Tony, we got to big up Yasser, legend.
Big up Yasser TV. That's another real one, guys.
If the 10 in Odegaard does not work, it just doesn't work. Again, the flicks, the tricks, the hair flicks, the flattened overall balls, brilliant. But if we put Zubimendi in that spot, you'll have, I think, number one, a little more physicality, better, possibly better ball control, but you won't have a midfielder so committed up front with no end product. We're talking about a midfielder, number 8, that doesn't shoot the ball. So if we really want change in our midfield, we've got to take a look at Odegaard. and we can just play a flat 4-3-3 without this creative fucking Fugazi bullshit that we think we already have, which
No,
we
no,
don't.
no. I hear. I mean, I hear you. Okay, now that you said, okay, now see now, yeah. Now we've
Rodimus on
both
Arteta, here we go.
criticized Martin Odegaard. We do know that he's not that guy. We do know he's not that guy in
Right,
10 that could create all this kind of things you're talking about. Yeah, he can't give us those numbers. This season, he showed that he can't give us those numbers. He doesn't have those numbers at all. He's not that
right,
kind of player. And right
right,
now, we've just gone in to bring in a Zubimendi. Now, if we channel any of our funds down to bringing in another attacking midfielder right now, yeah, then we're also talking of a left winger. We're also
right.
talking of bringing in a right winger who would also help out if because Saka was injured. We're also talking of bringing in a world class number 9, bro. What do we really want right now? Because we can't get all these reinforcements all in one.
No, I do. I think like before, like we talked about, I think the money's there for all three. But I want a striker. No, first things first, we have to get Gyokeres over the line, and then of course I want Rodrigo for 80 mil. Any club in the top 6 would be foolish not to take Rodrigo if he's available for 75,
Exactly,
80
man.
mil. That's a top signing,
Sell
right?
580 million. It makes sense. Complete sense.
Right, and Zubimendi, I think, can be seen as a decent squad player, right? Which we need depth as well. But I guess my point is, I do want creative. Like again, if the funds are there for Xavi Simmons, absolutely, hell yeah. But we're not going to get all 4, right? Let's be real.
Mm,
Simmons is still very hard to get. Liverpool are linked to him. I'm sure Bayern Munich are linked to him. There's other clubs in Europe that he could possibly go to. So
mm,
I just think that I do think that Gyokeres is close. I think Rodrigo's pretty far off because again, I think he's on the beach right now, having a drink with his missus,
mm.
watching the waves and the sunset.
Exactly,
Right? I
man.
mean, what else would he be doing? And he's not even thinking about moving right now. I mean, it's not even June
Mm.
1st yet. So, but I do think the Zubamendi's halfway done.
But again,
And he
do
just
you think he comes to Arsenal? Do you think he comes
who
to Arsenal?
Rodrigo?
Because somehow, I'm just thinking about this right now, man. Our biggest rivals might have just given Arsenal a clear path in bringing in a striker into our football club.
Say again.
Because there's still talks about him going to Manchester United. And right
Right.
now, Spurs have somehow dashed those hopes of Man United going to the Champions League. Now, that leaves Arsenal in that equation of getting Vicky Gyokeres undisturbed by his former manager, Amorim, in Manchester United. No Champions
They
League
no,
football.
right. No Champions League football. Right. That could happen as well. But I
Hmm.
think they have other urgent priorities. They would have to find something for Holland. They'd have to find something for Xerxes. But yeah, that's another name that could happen. Again, it's May 23rd, bro. We've got a long way to go till July 1st. And a lot of things could happen. Possibly. I just I don't know. I think Gyokeres is doable, and Rodrigo, I just don't know. Again, Xabi Alonso could come in and just say, "Hey, you're the one I want. Here's what we're gonna do,"
You're the
and then
one I wanted. Oh
he's
my
not going
days,
anywhere
man.
then. Right? But I mean, that may not happen. Rodrigo was
Bro.
upset because he wasn't getting what he deserved his playing time under Ancelotti. Well, Ancelotti's gone, so that's kind of Madrid are going to rebuild, but the Rodrigo to Saliba swap, I'm not sure if that happens this season. But I do think they would.
Will you
If they do
take it
get
if
Rodrigo, they'll have
that
first
happens?
refusal on Saliba.
Will
What's
you
that?
take it if that happens? Bro, I'm open for it.
That's
I'm
the
open to
question.
it.
Well,
Bro,
you got
I'm open to it for Rodrigo
yeah.
for William
Um,
Saliba because he's going anyway, bro. I don't want any corrupt egg to be in the
right,
football club. If
right,
you know you don't want to play for Arsenal, just go away.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I mean you can go. I want players who are locked in.
I
I want
think I would
players who
make
are
that
all
move as
in.
well.
We should be
I
brothers.
think
We
I would
should
make
be
that
in a
move.
bro. It should be. I want Arsenal players to be caught like
Right.
everyone should be all in. Yeah,
Right.
if Saliba is saying, you know what, yeah, I'm having problems, uh, concentrate, bro. This season has been by standards, it's been a shocking
Yeah.
season for
Yeah.
Saliba. Gabriel has been our standout character in the center of our
True.
defense. Without him, bro, we'll be lost this season.
No, I think
Mind you,
right,
his
but I also
goals.
think,
Mind you, he's a leader. But
if
bro,
we
he's everything we wanted in a defender this
right,
season. So
right,
if Saliba is saying he wants to go, no problem. Go in and get in another defender. You will get in money for him. No problem. If you're going to do a swap deal with Real Madrid, then bring in a Rodrigo, then you bring in a player who could also play in in
right. Oh
four
yeah,
other positions, because he plays as a left winger, he could play as a striker. Mind you, he can also play as a false a
oh yeah,
striker under a more bigger player in front of him. He could also play
yep.
from the right. Even this 10 you're talking about, he could play in 10. Ancelotti is using the 10 this season. So, I mean, but to be very fair, Ancelotti have used players all around this
Well,
season,
yeah,
bro.
for sure.
I
No,
mean,
yeah,
he spread it
mean,
around this season.
I
But
think in hindsight, I would take that. I think I would take that deal because there is
I'll
the
take it,
argument
but we're
goals
not losing
that goals win
anything
titles,
because
good defense
Saliba
win
is
titles, and just
leaving
goals
anyway.
that win titles.
He's leaving anyway.
Right, and we need to score goals, right? We need to score goals. We've never been known as a club that are, well, not never, but that our defense won the title for us. I mean, you can make that argument for the '90s with Tony Adams, Steve Bold, etc. But
Mm.
that's a different era gone by, right? I'm not going to compare this season with the era of George Graham and Wenger, right? That's ancient history now, even though it's a great history. But I think that the thing I'm worried about Saliba is I think that opens the floodgates for other players, right? I really do. I think he's looked at as kind of
Not when you have
within
an
the squad
airtight
and put on a
contract situation.
pedestal. You know, he's really
I mean,
admired at the club. He's admired by a lot of the other players. I just wonder if that opens up floodgates. That's what I mean. The links to Gabriel the Saudi aren't dead, bro. Just because it's not in the BBC or talked about with fucking Pornstein or whatever, you know, these links are dead. And I'm worried that if Saliba goes, Gabriel can look around and be like, well, fuck. I was head over to Saudi for 400 bags a week and have life-changing money. And that's the thing I worry about Saliba. The thing is, if we can tie down Saliba for another 2 years, get Rodrigo in now, and just give Real Madrid first refusal in 2 years, I think that ties it up because that at least gives Saliba a pathway to his future, so it doesn't leave him confused of where he's at in his career. It gives us 2 more solid years, hopefully solid years, of a top defender, and then we've just enhanced the squad with Rodrigo. But I think you're right. But if it really comes down to it, when the rubber meets the road, we have to go attacking because that's what Arsenal are built on. We're built on attacking. We're not built on defending.
We're built on attacking. Yeah, exactly. Enough of this defensive. Again, I have no problem with having Oregon. I have no problem with having a more structured defensive mechanism.
Right.
There's no problem with having, there's no problem with having that. But again, you have to score goals. If there's anything this season I've taught us, you have to score goals to win titles, bro.
Right.
You have to score goals. You have to attack. You have to do this thing.
You have to attack.
And that's what Liverpool did at the end of the day. They scored goals. Goals and more goals. And when you have the players and the characters to do that, it becomes more easy. They just pump in more goals and you win. But if you're more of a defensively structured team, you would defend. You would get the clean sheets. You would be the best defensive team in the league, which is what Arsenal is right now. But you will win the trophy. And that's where we are right now. We're the best defensive team in the league, but without the trophy. Make that make sense.
I know.
We are the best defensive team in the league this season, and we have no trophy to show for it.
Find the right fit that will equal Saliba's ability. And there are players out there very good. There's top defenders in the French national team, as we know, right? We've even been linked to Koundé, I think, for Barcelona a few weeks ago. I think he plays center back and right back. So that's the thing. If we sell Saliba and get Rodrigo, we have to find another one to match Gabriel, or I'm telling you, he's out the door, bro. And then we not only that, we have to make Gabriel one of the highest paid players at the club. I don't think he's on that much money a week. I think Air Talks Arsenal has brought up the sheet, and I think Saliba and Gabriel are towards the bottom of the Excel spreadsheet when it comes to wages. And maybe we'll make amends for that this season. But Gabriel's injury, that's his only first real injury, I believe, with Arsenal. So we got to find a way to keep Gabriel at the same time, right? Because those two have a relationship.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that scares me.
We're talking Starsky and Hutch, right?
And that's where opening the floodgates you just talked about reigns in. That's where opening the floodgates you talked about reigns in.
Right. So then you go and sit with Gabriel and Berta together, and with Gabriel's agent, and you say, "Look, Gabriel, we need to replace Bill, but we need your input on who you think you can work with. You need to give Gabriel some fucking credit in the bank and let him be part of this process as well, especially since he deserves the captaincy, him and Rice." I think, I know it sounds weird to get input from a player, but there comes a point where the center back partnership, like you said before, will lead to trophies as well, but we've got to look at the attack first. And that's our ethos. That's what the club's built upon, is attacking. Arsene Wenger instilled that in the 22 years he was there, good or bad. But just getting Saliba, selling Saliba, getting Rodrigo, that just leaves another hole, right? Because I don't think Ben White can do it. I don't think Calafiori is going to be up to par to partner with Gabriel in the center back position.
But wait. I saw Calafiori. I saw Calafiori in center back, which is his rightful position. That is right. Yes. That is rightful position, actually. I saw him in that center back position in that Newcastle game, when he was brought on. I'm sorry to say, but I liked his display. I felt that's his natural position.
You think he can do it week in and week out?
Even at times, he was even out. I mean, it was even in. He even went down up front. I mean, he liked leaving his position and go down to about the opposition box. But again, I liked how he looked. In that centre back. Appearing, but I mean, I don't want to be the one to say, "Hey, let's put him down there in centre back," because I know this Arsenal fans will eat me alive if I say that. So I mean,
I know Calafiori can go in for Saliba. Yeah, I wouldn't repeat that.
I mean, out loud. And Duntee's down here. I mean, it's gonna cuss me out.
Someone's got a question. Kiwior. I mean, I think there's more potential at Kiwior at center back than Calafiori, if I'm 100% honest. But again, Calafiori, do you want him week in and week out assembled? Not so sure. I'm really not so sure. That's great that he's.
I mean, since he came to the football club, it's been. Since he came to the football club, it's been injuries, and more injuries.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. Even this manager, I don't even trust any signings that will come in. Like he's gonna joke with their fitness levels. I mean, just look at Anslot, I mean, comes into a team, that didn't win the Premiership, but still had world-class players around. He comes in and still had fitness issues. Don't forget that Liverpool had lots of fitness issues.
Right.
This guy came in and I mean, won them the title, managed the injury worries and their fitness levels, and won them a big time trophy this season. In his first season, by the way. What phase is he in? I mean, I see some of the questions he asked.
What phase? What phase is Eddie Howe in? Jesus Christ. And again, shout out Palace, Newcastle. And again, and I'm going to say this, for the football world, it's good that not a big name team, I guess, won Europa for footballing's sake. I don't know. I still don't want it to be Spurs. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut on that. I don't know. But again, shout out Palace and Newcastle makes football phenomenal. We did not deserve to beat Newcastle. And whatever happened against Man United, we've got to just wipe our hands clean and start again, Tony. As much as again, the levels dropped from Madrid to United, right? It's too deep.
Totally,
If we
man.
could
Totally.
like
The assembled asked you a question,
beat
please.
pretty much everybody.
Please answer the assembled questions, please.
I thought he was decent, but I don't think he can carry a 60, 70 game season, bro. But he was decent,
Nah,
but I still
it's
wouldn't
too
start
much.
him. He's just, I just don't think the real talent is there. You know, the real football IQ like Gabriel and Saliba have. But could come wrong. I mean, I'm not at training. No, I don't think any of us are at training. We don't know what Gyokeres completely can do because he hasn't had that much time as well, right?
Let's sell all these players, man. Let's sell all these clowns, bro. Bro, we've proven it. These guys can't take us nowhere, bro. What are we doing? All these guys, bro, all these people, these guys are just entertaining these clowns here. Bro, you see Martinelli, bro, I need all these guys out. Yeah, it's good to keep them for squad depth, but these guys have pissed me off so much that I want all of them out. The Gabi, Trossard, Kivior, I mean, all these people. Let's sell them. Let's get them off and go bring in world-class players. Yeah. Let's do that.
Bottom of our problems. Like Kivior isn't really the problem. To me, the problem's Odegaard. There's no leadership, there's no strength, there's no Premier League talent, right? And again, it's another project fucking journeyman player that Arteta needed to pick up. He's had his moments. I'll give him credit for that. Technically he's fucking brilliant, right? But when it comes to decision making, Odegaard ain't it. When it comes to trying to establish a fast build up, like a counter attack build up, man runs away from the ball in the wrong direction. Many times. Man gave away the ball 14 times against PSG. And you just can't have that. Like I mean that's
I hear that.
That's League 3 level shit, you know.
I hear you, man. So, I hear you. And of course we'll soon be going off
as well.
Yeah. See, Oregon I hear you, man. But Don C says that these players are not that bad. The manager is the issue. Don C, I would dispute that with you. Some of these players are horrible. Bro, it's a gory story with these players. How about Gabriel Jesus? Yeah? Is that player not that bad to you? Bro, we have stinky players in this team. We need to get these players off. The moment we keep, babying these players, just coddling them and you know, it's not too bad.
You guys
bro, I don't agree. We have horrible players in this team. We need to sell them off. Sell every one of them off. And then bring in players who want to play. And there are even players who are good enough, but they're not all in. You have to be all in the game. Yeah. Saliba is not all in. He's mentally checked out. So you need to sell those kind of players too. Bring in money and buy squad players and quality players as well who would come in and play for the badge. Yeah, Jesus, I want him out. Either Martinelli or Trossard should go away. The only reason why I should keep someone in that cluster in Trossard and Martinelli is for squad depth. That's all. It's not for squad. Yeah. If Arsenal has the means to go for 2 new players, I'll sell them off, 2 of them, because there's nothing new they're gonna do. They've been here, and I'm sorry, the clowns, they can't get us over the line. They can't win us any trophies. Yeah, they can't. Even Kai Havertz, I would like him out, but of course, the manager just came out and said he broke all the whole metrics in the gym. Right. So we all know he's gonna be here.
Yeah,
bro, we're finished, man. We're finished. I'm even going to talk to these people. Tell these people what's coming up with you, man.
I'm telling the people, no, thanks everyone for being in here. Great chat today. Great to see all the familiar names as usual. I'm going to be heartbroken about this Tottenham thing till August 16th, till we have a new season. Or I'll be upset until we win the Emirates Cup. So, other than that, man, I'm going to be on with TJ tomorrow. TJ tomorrow, American Indian Show with the one and only Don C. and our man Sheik from Mud Brothers Show, and a United fan who's got lots to say as well. I'm sure it's going to be
Mhm.
everyone out at United. It's a fucking clearinghouse there. I mean, it could be worse. We could be United, right? They didn't get shit either, so F them. But anyway, top show today. Thank you so much, Tony, for getting me on. I know I kind of hit you up at the last minute, but I just had all this like
Yeah, that was, yeah. I was
anxiety,
planning a
man. I
show with
needed
a
to
lot today. Yeah,
say,
and you
yeah,
just hit me
tomorrow's
with that, and
24 hours
I never
away.
say no to you because you're my brother.
I know you're too kind. When you got the time, you make the time, and I appreciate that from you.
Definitely.
Yeah, we got some decisions to make as a club, right? We've got to see what Berta can really do. We'll see what this guy's about. You can wear the sharp suits and have the nice hair, and talk a good game, but if you can't execute, you do not belong at my club. And if Berta can't get this over the line, I want him out. I know that sounds harsh,
Exactly,
but
bro.
we
Accountability
need
everywhere.
change now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get us over the
So
line. Get the
I
signings over the line.
right. So
Yeah.
I would say
Bring me the
two things.
Grim Reaper. I need
There's
the Grim Reaper down
there's
here
two
in
things.
our football club. How
There's two
about
things,
that?
guys. I don't want to get hyped about, and that's thinking that Berta can perform miracles, and number two, that Rodrigo is so solidly looking at Arsenal. We've got to not let ourselves get caught up in the Berta and Rodrigo hype. If the Rodrigo thing happens, we won't know till he lifts the shirt. Don't believe the Fabrizio Romano bullshit, the David Ornstein. Stick to what we know as Gunners
I
fans.
don't believe any of all that shit.
We don't get busy
Just don the
until
shirt
late
of the
in the
football
transfer
club.
window. Maybe there's changes coming, but remember, we don't do things until late in the transfer window. We've still got a lot of time till July 1st. So anyway, I just want to say that. I don't want to get people's hopes up, right? Like yours and mine, Tony, of Rodrigo. When it doesn't happen, you've just got to turn your shoulder and say, that's the Arsenal. And again, this manager won't take us to where we need to be. So there's a lot of change that needs to happen. But again, thank you so much today. Thank you for letting me air my grievances and talk the shit that we do.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Bro, it's needed, man. It's needed, man. And I mean,
Thank
it's
you,
all
man. I
good.
appreciate
Every
that.
time I have time to do shows with you, it's always a blessing, man. You're a
Thank
real
you.
one, and we've become brothers from here and friends. So, of course,
For sure.
it's all good. So, yeah, man. Big up to everyone. Don't see, I'll see you, my brother. I know I've disappeared from Suckers in TV a little bit.
I
I'll be
said don't
there
do
maybe
it,
this
dog
week.
piece. I asked where he was too, right at the beginning of the show, didn't I? Tony was gone to PSG. Tony took a 10-day
Bro,
break.
man. Bro, it's
I get it.
embarrassing. Also, have embarrassed me everywhere, bro. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, we got to take.
But anyway, I'll see these brothers later on. For
sure.
me, an Oregon Gunner. Dante said I disappeared from. Dante, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone.
Thank you, Hendo. Much appreciated.
He said life.
Here's a life. Yeah.
Hendon Gunner, big up to you. He says great show, chaps. Yeah. Me and Oregon Gunner doing it again today. And of course, Don C says big ups, lads. Love the show. Yeah, of course, man. Big ups to you, Don C. I'll see you within the week, man. And from me and Oregon Gunner, my brother, we are out. We'll see you guys next week.